bought 4 condos in another building. So something to think about. I mean, we talk about it all the time. In every market, there's opportunity. And this one's no different. The opportunities may be different, but it doesn't change the fact that they're out there. So if you have questions about that, I encourage a phone call, 561-291-8569. I'd be happy to talk you through it, get you in contact with an attorney that can handle that exchange for you. So anyway, we're going to roll into another break. 561-291-8569 is the Anytime hotline. We'll continue to take your questions after this, or visit the website, www.mr.mortgage.
Hey, it's Mark Eitel here, host of the Mr. Mortgage Show. And you've heard me talk about the valuation tool that we use in our lending practice almost daily. It's not quite an appraisal, but it's way more accurate than one of those online estimates. And we're happy to run one of those reports for you at no charge. Just visit freevaluereport.org. That's freevaluereport.org. Give us a little information about the property, and we'll be happy to send you your report. That's freevaluereport.org.
Here's another 5-star review.
We kept our business above water with credit cards during the pandemic. I'm glad we did. Business is better than ever. But I didn't want to be a slave to those credit card payments. I called Mark about the rec loan he advertises. Long story short, we did a rec refinance and paid off everything, even the car. Now we only have the mortgage payment. We're saving a bunch every month. Yes, we are happy to recommend Mark and the Mr. Mortgage team.
It's not every day that you need an appraisal, whether it's for a divorce settlement, estate planning, or maybe you're appealing a tax assessment, or you just want to make sure you have adequate coverage in your property insurance. When you need a certified appraisal, turn to my friends at soflappraisal.com. That's soflappraisal.com. Peter and his team have been appraising properties here in South Florida for decades. soflappraisal.com. And tell them you heard this on the Mr. Mortgage Show.
Are inflation and everyday expenses eating into your retirement income? Maybe you've considered a reverse mortgage and have unanswered questions like, do I still own my property? Can the bank kick me out? What happens when I die? Can I still leave my house to my kids? These are all great questions. Visit www.moreaboutreverse.com to learn more. That's www.moreaboutreverse.com. www.moreaboutreverse.com.
Welcome back to the Mr. Mortgage Show. Call us now, 561-291-8569.
Yes, please call us now. 561-291-8569 is the Anytime hotline. Dom is standing by in the studio to grab that call if you call, or shoot us a text. But just to finally finish up, because I know I have a tendency to do that, but on Jerry's point, yeah, buy that property now if you can, if the price makes sense, because I just flashed through my notes, and how waiting costs you is, in addition to pricing going up, with interest rates going up, anything you buy is going to become less affordable. So I read a article this week that outlined how on an average $400,000 purchase price, an interest rate moving a half a point pushed, a ridiculous number of people out of the market, like to the tune of, I don't even remember, but well over 1 million people in this particular market that they studied. So it's already getting out of control. Jump in while you can, while rates are still affordable. So let me throw it over to Dom and keep the questions rolling. What do we have?
All right, we have Bob from Lake Worth. Bob is asking, I'm going to sell a couple of classic cars for my down payment. I read about seasoning. How long does the money need to be in the bank before I can apply for my loan?
Hey, that's a great question, Bob. But do me a favor and shoot me some pictures and specs on those cars before you sell them, because any one of you who knows me outside of the show knows I'm a car head. So I definitely like all things motorcycles, muscle cars, rock and roll music, and of course mortgages. So yeah, great question. And I commend you for doing the research, because a lot of people go into that and they're going to sell a Rolex or their boat or whatever they have, asset wise laying around the house for the down payment. And then they run into that seasoning issue. And you've obviously done the reading, so you know what seasoning is, but just to kind of clarify it for all of our listeners, oftentimes when you have a big lump sum of money pop into your checking account, that raises red flag, or your savings account, whatever the case may be, it raises red flags. So typically the bank is going to want to see that money's seasoned, that it's been there for a period of time, because they don't want you to have just gone out and, borrowed $25,000 from your Uncle Vinny, and now you've got a new obligation. So seasoning refers to how long the asset has been documented in your checking or savings account. And if you've already put the money in there, that's one thing. It typically needs to be there for 60 to 90 days. So you're going to want at least 2 full bank statement cycles to have that money there. And that gives the opportunity for the lender to see there's no new debt on your credit report showing up against that large deposit. So based on that, they're comfortable moving forward that it's not a loan, that it was, the sale of an asset. But if you haven't sold them yet, give me a call, because there is a way to do it where you do not need to season the funds. However, you need to document it. You need to, have the bill of sale for the car. It's helpful if we see the advertisement. If you sell that old 68 Camaro on Marketplace, let's see that ad. Let's see the bill of sale. If you can show the title being transferred, that's awesome. But here's the big thing: if you sell the car for $20,000, and I don't know what a '69 Camaro is worth, it's probably worth, depending on the condition, a heck of a lot more than $20,000. But let's say whatever you sell is $20,000. Let's say you sold a '54 F100. Fully restored, and you got $35,000 for it. That's one I just saw, so I know it's true. You're going to deposit that $35,000 exactly. Don't deposit $31,000 and put $4 under your mattress, because now you can't. It's not documentable. It doesn't make sense how that money went in there. And worse than that is if you put, $35,000 for the F100, and then you had another $5,000 laying around. You put $40,000 in there. It doesn't document out. So if you haven't sold it yet, give me a call. Not that I want to buy it. Maybe I would, but that I want to walk you through how to properly document the transaction so you can avoid seasoning if you're in a hurry and you don't have that time. But to answer your question, seasoning is 2 to 3 bank statement cycles. If you're not able to season it, let's fully document the transaction, and then you can use the cash right away. So I hear the siren rolling up behind me. That means we've ended another segment. As always, the Anytime Hotline's the easiest way to get me on or off the air. That's 561-291-8569, 561-291-8569, or hit the website www.mr.mortgage, never a .com, mr.mortgage. Thank you.
That's a wrap. Join Mark Eitel next week for more thrilling, edge-of-your-seat discussions about real estate and mortgages, right here on The Mr. Mortgage Show.
Hey, it's Mark Eitel here, host of the Mr. Mortgage Show. And you've heard me talk about the valuation tool that we use in our lending practice almost daily. It's not quite an appraisal, but it's way more accurate than one of those online estimates. And we're happy to run one of those reports for you at no charge. Just visit freevaluereport.org. That's freevaluereport.org. Give us a little information about the property, and we'll be happy to send you your report. That's freevaluereport.org.